tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies love you, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies love you, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare.
Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Hello, 57 Beige Fox, Bronze Flat Power God, Soul Sister Terry, Deronda, Robert is here, Danny Joe, We the People, Chris B. All right, Terry Hitton. Let's get into it. I see you, Desmond. Okay, so shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Lillian X, Laverne, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, I see you, Quiet Storm, Lieutenant Maxwell. All right, let's get into it, Trisha. Now, before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that being said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she sells beard oil as well. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it now. I want you all to pay attention because Trump has now turned his ire to Charlemagne the devil, which we already know that they've had a back and forth before and they don't really care about each other. But Trump seems to be upset because of comments that Charlemagne the devil made about the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, Charlemagne the Devil made comments that frustrated supporters of Donald Trump, mainly because he didn't follow the usual tone down the rhetoric narrative. Okay, so here's what he actually said based on recent coverage. Now, I would play it for you, but you know how ScrewTube is, okay? They'll give me a copyright claim from iHeartRadio, even though iHeartRadio probably didn't even issue the claim. Okay, please pay attention. So, anyway, Charlemagne said he called Trump, or rather, he called Trump the drama. Okay, basically suggesting that Trump himself is a major source of the chaotic political climate. And he absolutely is, because we all know that the White House and their minions have been basically trying to blame the stuff that's happening to Trump or whatever, even though it looks staged to me, but have been trying to blame that on the left and talking about people saying things that are, could possibly cause people to engage in political violence, which is crazy to me because the right does all of this stuff. They say so many things worse than anybody I've ever heard, including Trump. Okay, and so that's what Charlemagne was saying. He's like, Trump's the drama. Okay, clearly the calls coming from inside the house. So he pushed back on calls for people, especially media or critics, to tone down criticism of Trump, saying he's sick of that argument. Now, the broad implication of his take was don't blame critics or comedians for violence. Focus on the overall environment, including Trump's own behavior. Okay. Now, I have to agree with Charlemagne the Devil right there. So why that upset Trump and his allies? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Trump and his supporters were arguing that harsh rhetoric and jokes about him contributed to the dangerous climate after the shooting. So Trump doesn't think that the things that he does, the things that he engages in, the things that he says, and the hate and division that he spews and sows, he doesn't think that's a reason for any of it. At the end of the day, he wants to act as though people criticizing him. You see, this is all a ploy, in my opinion, for Trump to get people to stop talking about him. Okay, it's freedom of speech. Unless someone is saying something that provokes violence, hatred, or any of those things, sit down somewhere. Okay, please. Now, at the end of the day, didn't Trump cause a whole insurrection, people trying to overthrow the government because he lost the election? But I digress. So Charlemagne essentially rejected that framing, which can come off as dismissive of Trump's concerns about being targeted. Okay, now by calling Trump the drama, he flipped the narrative, implying Trump is the problem rather than the victim of it. And he is. He absolutely is the problem, okay? And at the end of the day, here's the thing. It's really interesting to me how these people on the right are the ones that spew the hatred. They're the ones that create violence and put people in provocative situations, in my opinion. And then what do? Well, they love to play the victim. Okay, that's what they do. Oh, woe is me. Okay, they're talking about us. They think that they can say what the hell ever, and no one's supposed to say anything criticizing them. Okay, that's the world they want to live in, but it's delusional and it's unrealistic. Okay, please pay attention. Now, they go on to say the shooting itself involved a gunman targeting officials at the event, which triggered a wider national debate about political rhetoric and violence. What Trump needs to be more concerned about, if you ask me, is why his security, his Secret Service wasn't doing their job thoroughly and allowed that man to even get it there in the first place with all those weapons, okay? That's what I'd like to know. Why is he talking about that? I have several questions. Now, with that all being said, now that I got that off my chest, let's just talk about how when a black person starts getting ahead in life, when a black person wins, all of a sudden it's everybody gets a trophy. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember the little black boy who was playing football years ago and he was always winning the trophies and all of that? And they said, well, we need to start giving everybody a trophy. He wins all the time. Why is it always a problem with some racist demons when black people are excelling or doing something good? But then if you have a black person who's not doing anything, they're lazy and you have so much to say. So it's like with black folk, you can't win. No matter what we do, we can't win. If we do too much and excel and we, achieve excellence, they have something to say. Oh, it was DEI. They didn't really qualify. They just got it because they're black. Oh, they took a white person's job and all of this ignorance. Then if it's a black person who's not doing anything, then they want to say, oh, black people are lazy. But the funny thing is, when one black person does something nefarious, they'll blame all black people collectively or act like that's all of us, paint us all with one brush. But when it's them, oh, they just want us to point out that one person amongst them. Do you see how that works? I find it all interesting. The reason I brought all this up is because it has come to my attention. There is a black man by the name of Joshua Jackson, and shout out to him. Okay, so he won a marathon. Now, but here's the thing. Prior to him winning the Delaware Marathon, there was a white guy, and I forget his name. It's not really important because he's the loser. Anyway, but here's what happened. So the white guy was almost at the finish line. He was just steps away. And wouldn't it be so sad that the black man darted past him and won? Beat him by 2 seconds. Do y'all remember something like this happened before a few years ago when the two white girls were running and then the black lady just darted past them and won? And they were just cheering each other on. They thought they were doing it. They thought they were going to win. But little did they know somebody was still behind them and she darted past them and won. They were so sick. But yeah, they thought they were coming in first and second. They ended up coming in second and third. But with that all being said, now that the black man won, what do you know? They want to change the rules now. Yeah, they want to change the rules. So let's go to it. I'm going to share my screen because I just reposted this on X. Okay, I find it also interesting. Robert said the whole versus scene versus scene is so lame. Exactly. Alice says, don't care anymore. Trisha said, Alexa, play You Can't Win. Michael Jackson. Not from the Wiz. Okay, I mean, the hate is real. The hate is real. And listen, there is so much going on with that lady, that racist police officer who got fired, Ashley Gonzalez, who was calling black folk the N-word. And, I'm sure she targeted them when she was out arresting folk or doing her job as an officer. But, there's people caping for her, Latinas and Hispanics out there saying they agree with her. That's fine. If you agree with her, okay, that's good. That's very good if you agree with her. All right. Go up to somebody that looks like me and say the word then. Why don't you do that? See how that turns out. Okay. Try it. All right. Try it. Okay. Now, with that all been said, let's get into it.
The man who lost the Delaware Marathon has spoken out about how he felt about losing. The Delaware Marathon Running Festival ended in total shock this past Sunday when a runner was passed in the final moments. A man named Carson was only steps away from winning the marathon and was seen jogging towards the line with his arms raised in victory. While he was focused on his celebration, he did not realize that another runner was closing in very fast from about 50 yards behind. Joshua Jackson had picked up his speed and was surging towards the finish while the crowd screamed with excitement. Just as Carson reached the line, he was passed at the very last second by Joshua, who remained laser focused. Joshua finished with a time which was only 2 seconds faster than Carson. Now,
2 seconds. Ha! Like that's just a little bit. It is just a little bit, but guess what? It's enough for him to win. And here's the thing. He said he had his arms raised in victory. Well, that's the definition of count your chickens or count your chickens before they hatch. Okay? That's what that is. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Please.
We found out how Carson feels. One source said the loser was seen being very upset afterwards. He worked so hard for this. He wanted it more than anything. He tried to put on a brave face, but ultimately he told his close ones that he was devastated. It is clear that Carson put everything into this race, and having the victory taken away so close to finish has been extremely difficult. The video of the moment has gotten a lot of attention across social media, with thousands of people sharing the clip of the unexpected finish. But before you go, I want to know, how would you feel if you were him?
He didn't win. So how about you talk to Joshua Jackson about how it felt to actually win? Like, are we serious? And I saw some comments from some folks that'll say they're going to change the rules about this. Apparently, you're not, going forward, you're not allowed to sprint the last moment of a marathon to win. Why are we interviewing the second place winner? I mean, we know why, but why don't we congratulate Joshua Jackson, the actual winner of the marathon? When we talk about whiteness being centered, this is a prime example of it. The dude didn't win. He was too slow. And he thought that he was going to win. He checked his watch. He was like cruising in. But he lost. He's not the winner. But everyone wants to know how he feels about losing by 2 seconds. How about we talk about what it took to sprint the last couple of moments of a marathon, and what that takes, and what Joshua Jackson did, and what his body was capable to do to win. Because he's the winner. He won first place. So why are we talking to the second place winner? Why are we talking about why he feels like he lost just barely, right? Like, let's think about this. This is what we're talking about when we talk about centering whiteness.
Now, I find that very interesting because here's the thing, though. Some Black people do that on purpose. I promise you, some Black people do that on purpose. You see, when I was in high school, there was a track runner. I believe his name, he was a little bit older than me, like maybe a year or so. But his name was Todd Jennings or Jenkins, I think. Anyway, whenever he ran, he would do that. If he was running like the 440 relay, he would make the other person think they're winning. And then at the last minute, he would dart past them. He called it walking them down. That's what they called it. We're going to walk you down. Let you think you're winning. And then right as you're getting close to the finish line, zoom past you. And with that all being said, the coach got on him and made him stop doing it because he told him he was shortening, or he was lengthening his time. Okay, he said, you're making your time, if you just run the race as fast as you can the whole time, your time will be shorter. Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, Robert said road runner. All right, please sit down. Like, they want to change the rules, honey. But that's how it is. Now, let's go to this racist devil here. I've actually seen some videos of him on TikTok. I'm not going to show them because he uses the N-word and I don't feel like editing. But here's the thing. This white man is walking around and driving around Tennessee calling Black Americans the N-word and chimpanzees while drawing a gun on them also, and using mace while recording for safety, mostly harassing soft targets like women, or teens. It's not going to go up to no big grown man his size. I did see him saying something to a full-grown Black man, but he made sure that he took all that trash until he was a good, safe distance away. And he's like, yeah, you heard me. No, actually, he didn't hear you because you waited till you got down the street, coward. But anyway, they say the police department in Tennessee obviously see this and know this, but they have done nothing. Black Americans are the number one victims of hate crimes in America. And mind you, when I saw this, before I reposted it, I tagged Elon Musk and I said, thoughts? Because Elon's a racist piece of ish, and he loves, that's why I troll him on X. And I don't give a damn. He shadow banned me on there for trolling him. I continue to troll him because I don't give a damn about X or how many views I get or any of that. I'm only on there so I can see what everybody else is posting because I find it entertaining and some of it informative. But with that said, I tagged him and asked him for his thoughts. So he hasn't responded. He never does. But here's the thing. He's a racist piece of ish, like I said. He's always posting stuff about Black people who commit crimes. And so he posted a thing today where he was talking about some Black person killed somebody or they did something. And I guess they didn't get enough time in jail as far as he was concerned. So he said something about, well, when these people do these things, if you let them out, they're going to probably kill some innocent. He said, when you let criminals stay out on the streets, they're going to eventually kill innocent people. Well, yeah, they are. That's what criminals do, especially murderous criminals. Okay, of course they do. But I told him, that's true, Elon, but why don't you post some of the people who look like you that are violent? Because he said violent criminals specifically. And I said, why don't you post some of the violent criminals who look like you? Because there's plenty. So let's not act, okay? First of all, this country was founded on violence by people who look like you. I said, so let's not sit here and pretend, okay, that all of the violent criminals are Black, okay? Let's not do that. All right, yeah, I troll his ass every day. He gets on my nerves, always trying to paint narratives. He's a rage baby piece of ish. That's what he does. I started to tag him in this too. Look at this right here. Now, mind you, this is some white devil walking around dressed like a Klansman. Okay, what the F is wrong with people? A man in full KKK robe casually walking down Main Street in West Warwick, Rhode Island at 2 a.m. Witnesses caught it on video. The hooded figure looked right at them with those eye holes, and they got the hell out of there. Okay, now, shop owner on camera said, "It churned my stomach. Police investigating. This is real racism, not the manufactured kind. In 2026, disgusting." Let me tell y'all something. You have a lot of time on your hands if you want to do this. Okay, what is this supposed to be? Ethnic intimidation. And let me tell y'all something. You go out here and walk around and make the Negroes mad? Child, please. Okay, please. I would have laughed at him. Yo, honey, you don't make me mad because you want to walk around looking like that. You don't make me mad at all. Thanks for letting us all know who you really are, and thanks for not hiding it. Actually, you are hiding it, because if you were so bold, take your hood off. Okay, take your hood off and let us see that face. Okay, like, please sit down. These people are so ignorant. They are beyond ignorant. Okay, but let me tell y'all something, Black people. Let me tell you all something. Okay. Hold on. Christ 1368 said, "Queen, thank you for activating my Alexa." Did I? But listen, here's the thing. Sosa said, "Facts, Queen, tell it all." Here's the thing. Black people, don't let these people who walk around doing stuff like that, or like the man walking around calling Black people chimpanzees and the N-word, don't let them provoke you to violence or anger, because at the end of the day, what they want is for you to run up on them. You see that guy has a gun and he's pulling it out on people. He's likely pulling it out when someone is confrontational, when someone wants to say something to him or whatever, because he's a whole coward, so that's what they'll do. And they try to provoke you because they want a reason to kill you. Okay, that's what they want. And they also want to tick you off. So rather than getting mad, let me tell you what you do. You start, because I told my sons this. I have 2 grown Black sons, and I taught them since they were teenagers. I taught them since they were little about racism and racist people and all of that. But when they became teenagers, I also told them that there are some racist devils who try to provoke you. Okay, then they're going to play the victim and call the police. And then you have to go to jail, court, pay fines and all that. You don't want to go through any of it. So don't ever let them provoke you to playing yourself off the streets. So what you do, if they call you the N-word, listen, no white person has ever called me the N-word to my face. But I don't care if they do, because on that day, I'm going to let them know exactly who and what they are in case they missed it. Okay, I'm going to start talking about that DNA. I'm going to start talking about that DNA and what's all in it. Okay, I'm going to start talking about some things that they're not going to like to hear, but it's all going to be true. Biologically true and scientifically true, and they can't dispute it if they want to. Okay, then we're going to start talking about some other things that 25% of them are born with that they get removed at birth. We're going to talk about all of that. Okay, that's what we'll do. You want to call me the N-word, let's let it rip. Okay, so I'm just telling you, rather than get all upset and in your feelings and act out of anger and resort to violence, putting hands upon them, don't do it. There's no need for violence. Okay, just tell them who and what they are and let it be that. Okay, because you call me a ninja all you want. The bottom line is that's supposedly an ignorant person, right? So, that's a matter of opinion. You may think that I'm ignorant. You may think that I'm a ninja. But what I do know for a fact, it is not an opinion. It is a valid scientific and biological fact that some people are walking around here with whole Neanderthal DNA. And I'm not one of them. Okay. Some people have the Iceman inheritance, and I know that I don't. Let's talk about violence. Who's really violent around here? That's all I'm saying. So, that all being said, I find it all interesting. Hold on, let me go to one more clip, and then we're going to get on with the receipts. This lady right here. I love this lady. I follow her on TikTok. Hold on, here's what she had to say today.
You know how you just hope some red-hatted MAGA just thinks you're one of them because you have white skin? So we're outside the Link Hotel, and a white guy in a red hat was being trespassed because he was a racist piece of crap causing problems. And the 3 security guards happened to be black. And he started screaming at them you're violating my rights, all the same old stuff. And they're trying to trespass him, and he's not listening to them. So then he sees us three white women, older white women, and he thought he'd have a friend in us. He walks right up to me, and he says, do you see these three black security officers harassing me? And I turned to him and I said, first of all, you wouldn't be saying one damn thing if those officers were all white. And second of all, fix your fucking bad behavior. And he was shocked. And then one of the black security officers turned to me and he said, thank you.
I bet his face was cracked. Okay, please pay attention. And that's exactly what he gets. All right, he just assumed that this is going to be his ally because she looked like him. But no, you see, all white people aren't racist. Okay, that's what they're not. Just like all of us aren't thugs and criminals and lazy. Now, there are some lazy Negroes, so I'm not going to lie. But there's also some lazy white folks, lazy Mexicans, Latinos, you name it. All right, so with that all being said, let's go to Pete Keg's breath because I find it all so interesting how they went in on him for filth. The likes up, everyone, please. The like and share. Thank you in advance. All sad. Ugh, they did him dirty, y'all. They did him so dirty. I find it all interesting. Well, let's go to the footage, shall we? Okay, Deanna says, he has some questionable tattoos. Oh, there's no question. They're wanton supremacist tattoos. Mm-hmm.
War criminal.
The Department of War Crimes. Why did you order the bombing of the girls' school in Iran? Why have you been the illegal attacks that have been killing fishermen in the Caribbean and the Pacific? Why are you continuing this war? You deserve to be arrested. You deserve to be arrested.
Have you no shame?
You deserve.
You are a war criminal, and you will be tried. You should be disgusted with yourself. How many American service members have to die for Israel? How many Iranian schoolgirls have to die for Israel?
We're outside the Armed Services Committee where Secretary of War Crimes is going to be asking Congress for $1.5 trillion for a Department of War budget, when instead Congress should be asking him about his war crimes. Why did he target the girls' school in Iran on the first day of this illegal Iran war, killing over 150 people? What was the use of AI in this targeting? Why did he order the dropping of bombs on boats in the Pacific and the Caribbean, killing over 150 people? They should be calling for his arrest, not fast-tracking more money for these war crimes. He should be arrested, not platformed in this building in Congress for more money.
We appreciate the opportunity to testify in full support of President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion fiscal year 2027 budget request for the Department of War. The president's budget request reflects the urgency of the moment, addressing both the deferment of longstanding problems as well as positioning our forces for both the current and the future fight. We think divesting to invest is a strategy of austerity. I'm honored to appear alongside General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as well as Jay Hurst, our Comptroller or Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to start by thanking this committee and Congress for your partnership in securing the investments needed for a stronger, prouder, and more secure America. I think what our troops have demonstrated to the world over the last 15 months are a reflection of that. A nation's ability to build, innovate, and support the critical needs of its warfighters at speed and at scale is the foundation upon which its survival rests. However, upon taking office on January 20th, 2025, President Trump inherited a defense industrial base that had been hollowed out by years of America last policies, resulting in a diminished ability to project strength. Under the previous administration, we were focused on offshoring and outsourcing, riddled with cost overruns and degraded capabilities. Under the leadership of President Trump, our builder-in-chief, we are reversing this systemic decay and putting our defense industrial base back on a wartime footing.
Sit down somewhere, okay? Notice that, you know, I think that Cat's Breath actually thinks he's a good speaker. He's always looking around the room, gauging what everybody's looking at, you know, how everybody's looking at him or responding or whatever. He really thinks he's a good speaker, but he isn't. He just gives a lot of word salad. Okay, that's all he does. He gives a lot of word salad and speaks authoritatively. Okay, that's how he does, speaks with authority. So it makes him seem like he's saying something, even if he really isn't. But if he really listens, he's not saying a damn thing, please. Okay, now that all being said, let's go to this clip. Now, I showed you all this before, but let's just go back to it because I absolutely loved it. Okay, and then we're going to go to Little Miss Crockett going in on small change.
You got drunk at an event at a bar and chanted, "Kill all Muslims." Another colleague, not anonymous, we have this, said that you took coworkers to a strip club. You were drunk, you tried to dance with strippers, you had to be held off the stage, and one of your employees in that event filed a sexual harassment charge as a result of it. Now, I know you deny these things, but isn't that the kind of behavior that, if true, would be disqualifying for somebody to be Secretary of Defense?
Senator, anonymous false charges.
They're not anonymous. And I'll just conclude and say this to the chairman. You claim that this was all anonymous. We have seen records with names attached to all of these, including the name of your own mother. So don't make this into some anonymous press thing. We have seen multiple names of colleagues consistently throughout your career that have talked about your abusive actions.
Chairman, I think he's over his time. He's way over his time.
I now yield.
Okay, give that man a raise, honey. He went in on him for filth. Even your own mother? Wow, his own mother doesn't even like him. Okay, pay attention. Okay, sitting there talking about anonymous false stories. Please. Everyone gave their name. All right, that's what they did. Nobody was anonymous. Trying to discredit it to make it seem like people are just lying on him. No, it's all true in my opinion. Now, listen to what this man says because I couldn't agree more.
Of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over because Congress is literally failing the American people. We should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over because Congress is literally failing the American people.
No lies detected. It's exactly what they should do. Okay? It's exactly what they should do. Let's go to small change. Okay, Claudette says, I couldn't agree more. Me either, beloved. Find it all interesting. Let me put my overlay on here.
Jasmine Crockett completely dismantled Kash Patel today in a House Judiciary Committee hearing that left the room in stunned silence. With only a 5-minute window, Crockett bypassed the standard Q&A format and launched a blistering surgical strike, systematically incinerating Patel's record as FBI director. Instead of asking questions, she delivered a relentless indictment, laying out a devastating timeline of failures that left Patel visibly rattled and unable to mount a defense. Let's watch.
Man, oh man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia pointed out that you are already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a Black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there, even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing, except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, there was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, Black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem, the one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like.
Hold on, let me see if he's going to respond. Okay, Mr. Jordan. Let me pull that back up because it looks like Mr. Jordan is trying to defend him somewhat. Hold on. He rolled back.
Well, I mean, I'll respond. Kash Patel, as I said when I introduced him, public defender, former prosecutor, top staffer on the House Intelligence Committee, Deputy Director of National Intelligence with the National Security Council, Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, and FBI Director. I think that's a pretty good resume for the guy who's now running the top law enforcement agency in our country. And we've seen all the stats that he's given to the committee on how much better they're doing at getting the bad guys than the previous guy was doing. With that, I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I think you're witnessing some auditions clickbait auditions for the Academy Award for my Democratic colleagues. We'll see how they fare.
Did it say clickbait for the Academy Awards? These people are
as they're on
something else.
MSNBC later on today. Do you care before I...
There is a gravity to the FBI that transcends any administration. It is built on the unyielding service.
I am done. Okay, let me just move on past it, honey. I don't have time for the foolishness. It's all crazy. Now, that being said, hold on, you're repeatedly going behind the president's back. Okay, now that I've been said, let's go to this next clip. You need to resign immediately. Army veteran rep grills Hegseth on mistakes in the Iran war. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Head wounds, heavy bleeding, and then just shrapnel all over. So folks are bleeding from their abdomen, bleeding from arms, bleeding from legs. Secretary Hegseth, do you know who said that?
I'm not sure I do.
It was one of our soldiers describing the devastating Iranian drone strike at Port Shuaibah, March 1st in Kuwait. As you know, 6 of our soldiers killed, over 30 wounded. Secretary, do you know the range of the Shahed 136 one-way attack drone, approximately?
It depends on the variant, but it's got serious distance.
Several hundred miles. Do you know how far Port Shuaibah is from Iran?
There's a reason why we took
it's
extreme measures
I'm
of force protection, because we understood the proximity challenges.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to reclaim my time. It's well under 100 miles. Before the war started, there was clear intelligence that Shuaibah was high on Iran's target list. Internal analysis had said the site was indefensible from aerial attack and should not be used. Yet you sent our soldiers from the 103rd Sustainment Command there anyway. Is that true or false? True or false? Straightforward question.
Are you going to give me a chance to answer or just play gotcha?
Did you send them there or not?
We took proactive
I'll
measures
take that
from the
as a yes
beginning to
and
ensure
reclaim my
force
time.
protection and defensive posture were
let's talk,
maximized
Mr.
across
Secretary,
the theater.
Let's talk about what defenses they had. Prior to the attack, officers on the ground knew our troops were vulnerable. In fact, they requested additional force protection. Did they receive it?
Wherever humanly possible, force protection and counter UAS was always made available.
They did not. In fact, when asked to describe the base's defense, one survivor who's come forward from the unit said, quote, I would put it in the none category. From a drone defense capability, none. So let's be clear, no counter drone capabilities, no counter rocket systems, no counter mortar or counter artillery, not even the basic overhead protection that you and I had 20 years ago in Iraq. And now 6 of our soldiers are dead. The next day, you downplayed the attack. You said it was a squirter that squeaked through fortified defenses. But since then, thankfully, brave survivors have come forward to set the record straight. One of our surviving soldiers told CBS, quote, painting a picture that one squeaked through is a falsehood. Another said the unit was, quote, unprepared to provide any defense for itself. It was not a fortified position. Another survivor said the building's protection was about as weak as one gets. Secretary Hegseth, that is obviously in direct contradiction to what you said from the Pentagon podium the next day. So are you saying that these soldiers, our soldiers who survived this horrific attack, are lying?
What I'm saying is before the commencement of the conflict, we put in maximum defensive posture we could.
That's a direct
We moved
contradiction to
70
what they said.
in this directing. Can I speak, or are you just going to monologue falsehoods all over the place?
It's not a falsehood.
We moved 7,500 troops off of the
Reclaiming
X
my
based
time.
on the intel.
Stop.
Based on the intel.
Stop. Reclaiming my time.
Because you yell doesn't
Are
make you right.
calling-
Just because you yell doesn't
I'm
make you right.
reclaiming my time on behalf of these survivors. You just said what they said is a falsehood.
There's a much larger
that true?
picture. There's a much larger picture at play here that included integrated air defenses, bunkers, moving people off
Then
the
why,
X
Mr.
to
Secretary,
ensure
are
that they were
dead?
not part of the target. We moved those troops and all across the theater, thousands of troops off the X, off of their bases, because we knew what Iran was going to try to strike, and we knew there
So
could
no
be a
answer.
tragic moment.
No
There could be a
answer, Mr.
tragic moment where
Secretary.
something
Again.
could get through. Of
Again,
course, that's the
I'm
consequence of
reclaiming my
conflict,
time.
and we
Again.
remember those 6 every single day.
I want to
But
finish.
don't play games with.
I'm not playing games.
raising
I
your
want to
voice and
finish with
pointing
one more
fingers.
quote from a survivor of the attack. And I put this on the record. Telling the truth is important. And we're not going to learn from these mistakes if we pretend these mistakes didn't happen. Secretary Hegseth, those soldiers told the truth. Those soldiers are braver than you are.
I commend them.
They are asking for accountability. They deserve accountability. And I'm asking for the same, starting with you. And as I said a year ago, you need to resign immediately.
I commend those
And I
soldiers.
yield back.
Then he's going to try to say, I commend those soldiers. No, you just called them liars. Sit down somewhere, stupid self. Let's go to one more clip because they were going in on him. Okay, they were just going in on him as they should, rightfully so.
Mr. Secretary, I want to go in a little bit different direction. Timothy Parlatore served as your private attorney, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Parlatore also served as private attorney for President Trump's campaign, correct?
I'm not privy to every professional position that he's held.
Well, I'll help you out. He did. And you appointed Mr. Parlatore as your senior advisor, correct?
He does reserve duty on behalf of the Navy.
His title is senior as an advisor. You gave him that title, correct?
And I would count him as very much an advisor of mine.
Yep. He travels with you, correct?
Tim Parlatore has been a long-term friend. He's a great patriot.
He travels with you. That's not what I asked. I reclaim my time. He travels with you, doesn't he? He travels with you, doesn't he? Correct? There's public Instagram that shows this. Just say yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay. He sits in meetings with you and advises you, doesn't he?
He sits in some meetings on
Yeah,
occasion.
well, he maintains a desk in an office in the Pentagon, does he not?
I'd have to check.
You don't know?
It's a big Pentagon.
This lying mofo said he'd have to check. He knows darn well that man has a desk in the Pentagon. Sit down somewhere, you liar.
You directly commissioned Mr. Parlatore in the Naval Reserve as a Navy commander in March 2025, did you not?
I was very proud to do so.
And when you did, because he's a Navy Reserve officer, he didn't have to go through the PPO process, the White House Presidential Personnel Office, right? He wasn't vetted by White House PPO.
Uniformed service members don't get vetted by.
The answer is yes. He didn't have to be vetted by White House PPO. He didn't go through the Senate confirmation process either, did he? The answer is no.
I don't know what you're getting to, but Tim is a fantastic.
I'll tell you what I'm getting to. The answer is no, right?
He does great work.
Okay. He didn't maintain a security clearance when you appointed him as special advisor. Is that right?
I'd have to check.
You don't know?
I mean, anybody that has access to sensitive material is going to have the appropriate clearance.
Okay, so when you appointed him as special advisor, he had a security clearance?
You're trying to piece together a time.
No, I'm asking a simple question. One of your special, most sensitive advisors, did he have a security clearance?
No, you're playing a gotcha game like you do on TV
I'm
and
asking
everywhere else.
questions.
You're trying to thread together details that are
Clearly, you're
connected about
concerned.
something else.
Clearly, you're concerned about my line of questioning, aren't you, Mr. Secretary? Because you know where it's going, don't you? I think you do. So, does Mr. Parlatore represent foreign governments? He has a private law practice, does he not?
From what I understand of his law practice, he does a lot of great work for service members in the military and other.
He maintains a private law practice. Does he represent foreign governments or foreign persons in that private law practice?
I don't know.
You don't know. Somebody who's sitting in your meetings, a special advisor, you don't know. Does he represent any senior officers who are currently under consideration for promotion by you or your office?
The only person that makes determinations about senior officers is me.
Answer the question. Does he represent senior officers who are under consideration for promotion by you?
No, I'm the one that makes decisions about choosing.
Does he represent them,
finding
Mr.
senior
Secretary? Does he
He
represent
doesn't
them?
represent anyone. He's a legal advisor and always has
But
been.
he has clients, does he not?
He's a legal advisor to me on reserve duty, and he always has been, and he does a fantastic
Is it
job.
true that
You're-
Mr.
you're playing a
Parlatore was
losing hand,
removed?
whatever you're
I
trying to
reclaim my
play here.
time. Is it true that Mr. Parlatore was removed from an investigation by the White House last year?
I don't know what you're referring to, but not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of it. Was it true that you were also removed from that same investigation? The answer is yes.
No, not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of it. That's interesting. Well, is it true that Mr. Parlatore disparaged President Trump?
I don't know what you're referring to, but no.
Is it true that...
Going nowhere.
Well, it's going somewhere, which is why you're not answering the question. Was it true that he was accused of lying by the president's legal team?
I'm not familiar to, you'd have to give me the context.
Well, it's right
of that
here. You
article,
want to look at
and
the statement from President
Anybody
Trump's
could blow
legal
up
team?
a quote and claim it says something, and that's what you're doing in a little stunt.
Secretary Hegseth, what I'm really concerned about is you purport to have unfaltering loyalty to President Trump, and yet you are continuously
Oh,
going...
you care a lot
I
about
reclaim my
President Trump,
time.
don't you?
You are
This is
going
a
behind
cute
his
waste
back
of your 5
and
minutes.
appointing
A
people.
huge,
I reclaim
cute
my time.
waste of your 5 minutes that
I
led
reclaim my
nowhere.
time. You are
Do not
repeatedly
pass go,
going
do not
behind the
collect
president's
gentleman
back.
from Colorado's
Colorado's time. Go ahead, Mr. Carl.
You are repeatedly going behind President Trump's back, appointing people who he is accused of lying, who the White House is
Gentleman's
accused of
time's
lying.
expired. The
And you
chair
are
now
not being
recognizes
honest
the
with President
gentlelady
Trump.
from South Carolina, Ms. Mace.
Honey, he's a whole liar. Okay, did y'all hear? I'm also nefarious. Now let's go to this terrible video of this black man being beaten by the NYPD, okay? Beating this man, all right? Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, before I get started, let me just give a shout out to those who have sent me Cash App donations. All right. I appreciate you. Rachel, thank you, beloved. I'm not going to say you all's last names. I don't know if you want me to say your names or whatever. Okay, but so thank you, Rachel, Roberta, Sheila, Sandra, that crazy bitch Aries. I know you don't mind. And Miguel and Andrea. Okay. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. Thank you all for your Cash App donations. You are greatly appreciated, beloveds. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, this is an awful video. I saw this days ago, and I'm so glad this man is suing because they beat the crap out of this man, and he was not even doing anything. And quite frankly, he was the wrong person. Now, this is a report from ABC News. A lot of media sources are covering this. In a case of mistaken identity, okay? I just want you all to pay attention because Black people, this could happen to any of us, okay? Any of us. And there has been times when I have seen people who look like me beaten, arrested, or whatever, detained because they claim, the officers claimed that they were in a vehicle that fit the description, and then only to find out that the person who was driving the vehicle that actually they were looking for wasn't even a Black person. Okay, a whole Caucasian. How do they do that? Okay, they just love to harass Black folk, in my opinion. Some of them. Now, with that all been said, let's go to the footage. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. It's one way you can absolutely support the stream for free.
A New York City graphic video of two police officers beating a man, authorities say a case of mistaken identity. That victim now preparing to sue the city for $100 million. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley tonight.
Tonight, Timothy Brown, the man seen here being punched, kicked, and dragged through a New York City liquor store by two NYPD detectives in a case of mistaken identity, speaking publicly for the first time.
I felt humiliated, disrespected, embarrassed, and I was brutally beaten for no reason.
The NYPD says the detectives were conducting an undercover narcotics operation and believed Brown had been involved in a drug deal. One officer holding Brown, the other punching him. At one point in the nearly 8-minute video, the detectives drag his body over broken glass bottles. Charges of resisting arrest were later dropped. Brown filing a notice of claim, a precursor to a lawsuit, alleging the officers violated his civil rights. He intends to ask for $100 million in damages.
Mind my business. I'm a taxpaying citizen. And what happened to me should never happen to anyone else.
David, the detectives Vulcan Maiden and Michael Algerio have both been stripped of their guns and badges pending an investigation. Meanwhile, the NYPD has launched a 3-month review of its narcotics division. David?
Rhiannon Alley reporting for us. Thank you.
Low down dirty pigs. I find it also interesting. Low down and dirty, honey. They beat that man and he didn't even do anything. And then had the nerve to charge him with resisting arrest. Okay, that's the lie that these devils love to tell.
A violent arrest, all caught on camera, and now a massive legal battle against the city. Timothy Brown, the Brooklyn man beaten inside of a liquor store by 2 undercover detectives, has filed his notice of claim seeking millions after being dragged through broken glass. Fox 5's Teresa Perillo is on the story for us. Teresa, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Bianca, this is, in fact, that complaint that was filed by Timothy Brown seeking $100 million from the NYPD as a result of that violent beatdown and subsequent arrest. He says the detectives who beat him had the wrong guy, and they also violated his constitutional rights. Now, according to Timothy Brown, this is the first time that he is having his say about that incident that unfolded on April 14th. We got to hear him detail what happened, how he felt, what he was going through, the embarrassment, the shame, and the effects that still linger. Now, to remind you, it was around 4 p.m. on April 14th. Brown stopped at a liquor store in Brooklyn to buy a bottle of wine. He says without warning, 2 plainclothes detectives with the Brooklyn North Narcotics Unit grabbed him, told him he was under arrest. They then began to use force, throwing punches and at one point even kicking him. The cops were participating in an undercover crack cocaine sting, but they had the wrong guy. Now, Brown wants to make the NYPD pay enough money so that the cops are deterred from this kind of behavior. He and his legal team also want institutional change, including a hit to the police pension fund when something like this happens. Here is Timothy Brown talking about the assault.
Let me tell you all something. I was just about to say that I'm glad he's hitting the pension fund because this is what I have been telling you all for years. If you all remember, the only time I remember someone even bringing that up was during Derek Chauvin when he was sued, okay, for taking the life of George Floyd. Okay, they went after his pension. He had like $1.5 million. Okay, and see, that's what you do. That's how you deter them because they don't want to lose their pension. And you go after their insurance also because if you go after their insurance, then they can't work. Okay, please pay attention. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so they can't work. Okay, so because a lot of times they get to stay on the job or whatever, or they put them on a paid vacation. Okay, they have them still being paid while they're suspended or whatever. But yeah, go after their insurance and go after their pension, and let's see how they love that.
Disrespected, embarrassed, and I was brutally beaten for no reason. I work, I'm on my business, I'm a taxpaying citizen, and what happened to me should never happen to anyone else. It was wrong, and it was disgusting, and my life will never be the same.
Now, we've heard from both the mayor and the police commissioner about this. They talked about disbanding that narcotics unit. They also have modified or transferred out the officers that were involved. But it is important to mention, Bianca, both Brown and his mom say they have not personally heard from the mayor or the police commissioner. And they say, quote, they are disgusted about that.
All of that brutality was so unnecessary. It's not like he was a danger or even a threat to them. They did that because they wanted to. And did you notice how the one cop kicked him up the butt when he was lying there, dragging him all through glass? Ooh, honey, I absolutely cannot. But let's continue. Now, let's talk about how Ashley Gonzalez, another low-down, dirty, racist piece of ish cop, she's been fired, but she'll likely get hired somewhere else soon. But let's talk about it because there's a lot of Latinas, okay, and Hispanics, shouting her out and saying that she could say what she wants to say, and that, in fact, they agree with her. And, that's perfectly fine. You can agree all you want at the end of the day because I'm sure we don't even care. Let's go to this guy right here. Okay, Crater Face. Let's go to him. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. He had a lot to say.
So it shouldn't be to anyone's surprise, but I support Ashley Gonzalez. Regardless of how you feel as a white American or a black American, Latinos can say whatever we want. Black Americans and white Americans try to force us into their white versus black mentality. They want us to subscribe to their social idealisms, and that includes their language. And quite frankly, I am refusing, as a Latino, I am refusing to bow down to their linguistic authority. Personally, I don't even care about Ashley Gonzalez herself. She is an individual. She can make her own decisions. If she wants to apologize, she can apologize. I, however, will never apologize. I am not going to apologize. I refuse to bow down to American bullshit when it comes to social standards, at least some of them. Like, if you're going to come at me and say, or be upset because I said the N-word, I don't give a fuck. I truly don't give a fuck. So ultimately, I don't think that black people or white people, especially Americans, have any right to tell any Latino or indigenous person how to speak on their own land.
First of all, this ain't your land, so sit down somewhere for somebody calls ICE. And let me tell y'all something, black folk, when you see people like that, don't get mad at them. Just call ICE, okay? Just call ICE, all right? See how they love it. At the end of the day, since you want to talk so slick, and if you don't like black or white people, why are you here in America? I'm sorry, you could have stayed where you were.
A lot of Hispanics, at least in these past 3 days, have seen the amount of videos that I have seen and the hate that we have been receiving, our community has been receiving these past 3 days or so. I genuinely hope that you guys have opened your eyes by now. I hope that as a collective, we learn that we have to be united. We have to unite. In the United States, Hispanics in the United States, we have to unite. We have to stop the divisions and within each other. Oh, because you're from this country, I'm from this country, due to our color of skin, our race, our background, our ethnicity. We are all Hispanics at the end of the day. Because the minute you open your mouth, regardless if it's white people, as in white Americans or black Americans, the minute you open your mouth and they hear your accent and they can tell, oh, this is not one of us, we're going to get pushed away. Because it's not only white people pushing us away. And this is good for your asses, especially you, the ones that like to be lambones, you know, lambiendo, like we say in the Caribbean, lambiendo the white or the black people. We have each other. And this is in no way, shape, or form trying to push division. This is not what I'm saying, because I'm just going to be somebody that's going to try to twist it. It's me saying at the end of the day, regardless if you're Mexican, if you're Dominican, if you're Bolivian, if you're Argentinian, if you are a Cuban, Colombian, we are all Hispanics. We have each other. At the end of the day, when something happens, we have each other here in the United States. Just like black Americans stick together, just like white Americans stick together, we have to learn to stick together. And a lot of the problem, and I'm going to say straight up, that we have right now in the Hispanic community is that we have a percentage of people that want to kiss the ass of other groups. I don't understand why, whether it's the Hispanics that want to kiss the ass of black Americans and they believe that they have to be accepted or validated to sit at a table. I don't know why they want to sit at a table. One thing is us being, unified or having love for each other, respect for each other. That's one thing, I can appreciate you, your contributions, what you've done, your history, whatever. I don't have to be you. I don't have to push agendas for you or do what's best for you as a Hispanic. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Hispanic and I have to look out for my people. A lot of you lambones, whether you kiss the ass of the blacks, like I said, black Americans, or you kiss the ass of the white Americans and you think that your blonde hair dye is going to give you a seat at their table, regardless of which ones, it's a problem. Because what his...
Okay, I think I've heard enough. How about y'all? Okay, first of all, listen. These people are so draining as far as I'm concerned. At the end of the day, honey, black people don't give a damn about what y'all are doing. We don't. Okay, we really don't. We don't even think about you all until you bring us up. Okay, we don't concern ourselves with the goings on of people like yourselves sitting there talking trash, acting like y'all have to, like we want you to push an agenda for us. When have we ever? We push our own agendas. We protest our own protesting. We don't have to get you to do anything, girl. Sit down somewhere. You sound crazy. And here's the thing: if you want you all to be more unified, I'm just wondering why the hell y'all don't stay in your own damn country. If you're in your own country, you are unified because there's more of you and less of everybody else. But you come to America and then you want to complain. Just stay where you are and fix up your own country and stop worrying about what the hell everybody else is doing. And this one, D Major says ICE should be abolished. They're a disgrace. Well, they're not abolished. So until they do get abolished, Black people, like I said, when you run across people talking like that guy, and they call you the N-word or whatever, just call ICE, period. Okay, whether they should be abolished or not, I said what I said. Thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. Here we go.
But I support Ashley Gonzalez. Regardless of how you feel as a white American or a black American, Latinos can say whatever we want.
Then say it. Post a video right now and say it. Post a video every day this week and say it. Why don't you post a video at your job and say it? Why don't you post where you work and then in the caption say it? Why don't you post your family's information and then say it? Because they obviously taught you that. Why don't you just say it? Y'all all doing a lot of yipping and yapping, but nobody's saying it but Ashley. If you agree with Ashley, say it. Because, at this point, I just want you guys to start saying it. If that's how you feel, you would not have posted this long video without using the word if you stood with her. Matter of fact, why don't you go down to the blackest corner because I know you know a lot. You seem to know every fucking thing. Go down to one of the blackest corners and say it. What you talking to us for?
Surprise.
Look at all that trash. You really don't want any smoke. That's what you don't want. Okay? These people are so ridiculous. Honey, they'd be so pressed about Black people. Honey, we're not thinking about you. Okay, at all.
Ashley Gonzalez reminds us of the anti-Blackness, colorism, and racism towards Black people that exists in our communities. Not only is this about condemning the actions of Ashley Gonzalez and all of her hateful racist comments, it is about holding our friends, our family members, and other people in the community accountable. Do you know of any of your family members or friends who casually use the N-word? Are you doing anything to stop them? Are we continuing the erasure of Afro-Latinx and Black Latinx people in our communities? Are we holding ourselves accountable for the anti-Blackness and racism towards Black people that exists in Latinx, Latinx communities? Are we forcing other Latinx, Latina creators to speak out against the racism clearly displayed by Ashley Gonzalez? Let's not make this about how you're not individually racist, but about the ways that anti-Blackness and racism towards Black people exists in our communities.
That's right. Now, let's continue. This next lady, I want you all to pay attention because she is really, really, I promise you, obsessed with Black people. I mean, I went on her page and literally almost every video, and I'm going to show you a few of her videos because almost all of her videos are about Black people. She is obsessed and she's cosplaying as a white woman. This is a whole Hispanic woman, okay? She's a white-looking Hispanic woman, and she sits there and pretends that she's white in those videos. Oh, white people, we got to do this, we got to do that, and the Black people are this. Yeah, I want y'all to pay attention. Cosplaying, honey, trying to basically rage bait.
Ashley Gonzalez deserved to lose her job.
Of course you don't.
I think it's fair that we live in a society where a certain culture of people can weaponize one word to destroy your life.
You mean like white people did with that exact same word to keep black people oppressed? Is that what you mean?
And they will push you into saying that word.
Oh, so you mean it's okay to be racist just as long as you're angry, huh?
Could you
So she said we push her to say the word. We push them. Please.
imagine being a female police officer?
Oh my God. Being a female.
This lady is clearly obsessed with black folk, and here she is again. She's so stupid, sitting there trying to act like she's a white woman, honey, but they don't care about you. Girl, bye.
About people threatening little children and how I was outraged. I never said that you don't know what it's like to be threatened. There are creators on this app threatening to unalive people out in public for hairdos and clothes and music. So if words hurt you, not you particularly, but words are hurting people, no one's up here threatening to do that to you, but they're sure as hell threatening to do it to us.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Why the fuck?
First of all, like I said, she isn't white. And then listen to how she's sitting there lying, saying people are threatening to hurt people about their hairstyle and all this, that, and other. Girl, stop, okay? Please just stop. Now, here she is again with more BS. I guess she's upset because black people support black-owned businesses, but we also support white-owned businesses, whether we want to or not. Okay, Walmart, Kroger, all of these different, we support other businesses too. So why do some people get so mad when we specifically say support black-owned businesses? Okay, talking to our people. At the end of the day, listen to this fool.
Hi, I'm a white business owner, and I'm here to show all you white women my new earrings, only for white women. They're a buffalo plaid design made out of like a leather material because we know only American white women wear these type of earrings. So if you're interested in buying from a white business owner and having these earrings, my target audience is white women. Hit me up in my bio for these fancy new buffalo plaid earrings just for you.
Now, does she think that's supposed to bother black people or black women specifically? We don't care. And here's the thing, even when we do have black-owned businesses, we promote them as black-owned businesses for our people to come, but we don't say, oh, this is only for black people. She sounds so ridiculous. Okay, she's clearly pressed and desperate. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. She had nothing better to do.
To say this, so I'm gonna go ahead and piss off the right people today, okay? Immigrants, let me talk to you like somebody who actually cares about you surviving in this country with your dignity intact. When you come to America, do not climb in bed with white supremacy. Don't let this country whisper in your ear that black Americans are the people that you shouldn't trust. That is the oldest lie in the playbook. They hand that lie out at the airport with a complimentary mint. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody knows America like black Americans. Nobody. We got a PhD, an honorary doctorate, and a lifetime membership to this country is racist as hell university. Black folks know the curriculum front to back. Because if you don't know it, America has two kinds of racists. Now, you got the loud and proud ones who walk around like a broken fire alarm. Then you got the covert ones, the sneaky ones, the ones who slither around like a snake in church shoes. Smile in your face while they sabotage your job application or promotion, simply because you're not white. And here's where some immigrants mess up. Y'all come here to America and you assimilate instead of integrating. You bleach your culture, your language, your food, your customs. You think if you become white adjacent, they're going to pull you into the VIP section of whiteness, but that's not going to happen. Because see, that club has a velvet rope and your name is not on the list. You're still brown. You're still non-white. So whether you're Indian, and that's from India, Somalia, Chinese, Korean, Egyptian, Filipino, Caribbean, Latino, all of it. They don't care what country you came from. They only care about the color.
All true. Now here the same woman is again, still trying to pretend she's white, and then talking about black women at work.
Not a special treatment that black women get in the workplace blows my mind. They can be dumber than a box of rocks. They're given special leeway. They don't abide by the dress code. They're late all the time. And there's always an excuse.
I think a lot of us are trying to figure out where this job is at. Please list it for us, because I'm trying to find a job that you can come in late, leave early, dress how you want to, and have a bad attitude. Find it for us. Tell us which job this is, because honestly, if you look online, statistics say we can be the smartest thing in the room and be the least to get promotions, the least to get raises, the least to move up in the companies. So please tell us what job this is, because I'm sure a lot of us would love to know. You have personal beef with somebody at your job, must be. And then of course, you're putting us all into a bucket. What you need to do is ask that woman what she's doing to get that special treatment. Maybe you need to join in.
Hating, honey, that's all that is. That's what it's all about. And here she is again, talking about white people listening to rap. I mean, like I said, almost all of her videos are about us, honey. She is clearly desperate.
Normalize white people listening to, rap music.
White exhaustion is real. Damn.
Now, she wants to normalize it, but it's already normalized. White people, specifically the young white youth, teenagers, and all of them, they're the main ones who listen to rap. Okay? And they always have been, in my opinion. They always have been. Okay? They're the main ones who listen to it. Now, here she is again. I mean, she's clearly obsessed. Okay? Please pay attention.
Hey, you guys remember that time that guy goes, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. But he was talking. Do you remember that time? That shit was funny.
You remember that time that podcaster said that getting unalive by pew pews was worth the cost of the Second Amendment, and he ended up getting shot through the neck?
Well, I find it interesting, but hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Specifically racist. You know, if all I ever did was call out racist, more specifically racist white women, I'd have no shortage of content. Whether it's the woman in her feelings because Black-owned businesses exist and she's not the target demographic, even though never have I ever seen a Black-owned business say, you can't shop here, when in the not too distant past, we did see white-owned businesses say that, which is why Black-owned businesses had to exist in the first place. Or the woman, upon hearing dear white women, is so internally offended that she felt the need to rebut, not understanding that in that moment, what a Black woman is doing is trying to give her a perspective that she's never going to get on her own. Because newsflash, she's not Black. It doesn't matter your proximity to Blackness, you're never going to fully understand the Black experience. And that in that moment, all you need to do is shut the fuck up and
Okay, some of you all are saying that lady's trolling. She is not trolling. Okay, there's a difference. What she is doing is she is race baiting or rage baiting, whichever you prefer to call it. That's what she's doing. Okay, that's why she's pretending to be white. Okay, she's rage baiting. She's trying to tick people off. She's trying to get a rise out of people. Okay, I mean, you could say it's trolling, but that's really what she's doing, because she's specifically using race to stoke or to provoke anger. Okay, trolls do all sorts of things. They'll use all sorts of things. They don't like your talking points or whatever. It's not always about race. When people are doing what she's doing, it's called race baiting and rage baiting. Now, with that all being said, let's continue, because here's what I think that lady needs to see with her silly self.
And again, another one bites the dust. How many videos am I going to have to make to tell you, if you don't look like me, but you think because you're not Black, it's not going to happen to you? It's going to happen to you. And the irony is your proximity to whiteness is never going to save you. And the call is always going to come from inside the house. Let's not forget that just a week and a half ago, they found a 19-year-old Latino boy hanging outside of a police department in Washington, D.C. We will never like you. We will never accept you. We will use you. We will abuse you. And then we will toss you aside. She's a dead woman walking. If she'll get drunk and get on Instagram on somebody else's page and talk like this, do you imagine what she says within the police department with other officers? So now they're thinking if she'll yap, she'll yap. So we need to worry about that. We'll never protect you. We'll never choose you. And you are not safe with us.
Okay, well, she's sitting there trying to go in on black people, honey. We're not the ones you need to be worried about, okay? And here she is again, because I happen to remember, I said, isn't that the same lady that was going in about Mr. Tendernism, when we said we were no longer going to support that restaurant that he was working for, Destination Smokehouse, after the man tried to steal his trademark, or tried to trademark his catchphrase? She had something to say about that too.
Me, not sassy, all the bullshit, just me. And I want you to know everything that happened with Mr. Tenderism and the Destination Barbecue is 100% your fault, social media's fault, and this app's fault. Everything was fine until the black folk found out that he didn't own that barbecue restaurant and he had a white slave master behind him, forcing him to do everything. I bet you that relationship with them was just damn fine, but y'all could not fucking stand that wasn't his restaurant, and all the bullshit that Keith Lee and all the bullshit that went on in this fucking app. You destroyed that. You destroyed it. And you want to act like, oh, this white man's going to steal it. They've been stealing all of our inventions for years. They've been stealing everything from us for years. Just because somebody may know how to do something, they also may not know how to go about doing it. Okay. I can have the brain power to fucking think of a remote control fucking ceiling fan, but I don't have the engineering experience, the backing.
Okay, she is just nauseating. Let's go to this next video. We're almost out of here, beloveds.
It's fine until the black folk found out.
Now, why would you come down here and get our Negroes all rowdy? Our Negroes were just fine, working in the kitchen for a plate and sleeping in the shed in the back. We even gave them Sundays off so they can go hoop and holler with their friends and family at the church up the street. You want them to believe that they know what to do with money? Our Negroes down here are a little different. They need special handling. They can't handle too many tasks. He had one task, and that was to shake the meat off of the bone. And he was good at that. And you took that all away by making him believe he knows how to count money, that he could live on his own, that he deserves a paycheck, when he should be lucky that he is getting anything at all. Because they're different out here. They need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. The Negroes over there might be different, but down here, they're fine.
Okay, that's what she really was saying. Now, with that all being said, listen. I want you all to see these Trump parodies. Okay, let me pull them up. Hold on, beloveds. We're almost done. Just a couple more clips. Here we go.
Got off the phone with the astrologers and the astronomers. We're getting rid of the year 2028. I got off the phone with the astrologers and the astronomers. These are the best. Nobody knows the difference, right? But these are the best of the best, and they work for Space Force. These guys are central casting. They're so handsome. And they told me the leap year is going to cause a seasonal off-kilter situation where it's going to be snowing in the summer and other things, and then the Democrats are going to say climate change, so we can't have that happen. Look, a catastrophe is going to happen because of the leap year. We've been leaping. We shouldn't have been leaping. And I said this 30 years ago. Nobody listened to me. I think a Democrat invented the leap year. So we leaped, and we shouldn't have leaped. So now we have to address the time slippage in terms of time. And they told me, sir, we have to eliminate some years. I said, which years do we eliminate? They said, we have to eliminate 2028 and 2032. It's really a sad thing. I don't really want to be president for that long, but it's probably going to be better for the country. We have to avoid this. Look, I don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And as the Democrats say, you have to trust the science.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump did try something like that. You already know he wants to get rid of the midterms, Sonny. Okay. Hold on, I'm not sure what happened, but hold on. Let me see if I can pull that back up. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Hold on, it's loading. Okay. Let's try it again.
Attaboy. You really are something, Donnie. You're a star. Hold your feet up higher, will you?
Why do you let them humiliate you like this? Don't you get sick of it?
Will you stop? They are the reason I am the president. And besides, maybe I like what they do to me.
Well, Donnie, for $250 million, you better do a lot more than just bark for me.
Meow.
Okay, I find it also interesting. Now that lady, it said that was Mrs. Putin. Okay, didn't I tell y'all I think Satan Yahoo and Putin have something on Trump? It looks like whoever did that AI video thinks the same thing. Okay, so anyway, I'm out of here, beloveds. I hope you all enjoyed this show. Okay, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And don't forget to tune in the morning. Okay, y'all know I go live every day. So even if you don't get a notification, check the channel. And I do believe that I'm going to be going early in the morning, going live a little bit earlier, maybe around 8:30. Okay, so I will see you all then. Okay, and until next time, peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas. other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin?